Hello people of the internet. Well, now is the time to undo these mystery markers. I was sent these a couple of weeks ago. They come directly from China, which is the first time I've ever had Arrtx markers come directly from Arrtx themselves. Usually they use Amazon to get them to me. And they hadn't been released when I did my haul video, which will be linked up there. So I wasn't able to show them, but they have been released now. I have seen the advertising campaign that they're doing on Instagram and various other platforms. So now I can open them and have a play with them and compare them and see what's different about them. So let's get them open first of all. What it says on the front is acrylic marker set, liquid ink, no pumping. I'm just trying to think how that differentiates. So let's get them open. All right. So on the back it says 36 saturated colours. They've got numbers on them. It says shake well before use. That's interesting. We're going to a shake well before use. Open the cap, start using. So it is just a shake. The ink needs to be shaken evenly before each use. Prevent the ink from splattering. Close the cap when shaking. Sound advice for any pens that you have to shake. Alright, so let's have a look what they look like. Nice matte box, by the way. Very matte feeling. Ooh! They look different. Oh, it's the old chocolate box type. Oh, look at those. Oh, look at those. Oh, they look like this. Can you see the ink in there? I can hear a ball. I can hear a ball. Beautiful colours these are. Shake well with the cap on before use. I'm trying to say, I think you can actually. I think these little flowers are actually ink windows for you to see the level of the ink. You can see up there, if you can see up there, the bottom, the ink doesn't actually start. The ink channel doesn't actually start until about there. Oh yeah, I can see through it in this light, but I'm not sure you can. But yeah, I think that's an ink window. And da 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 da. Look! Oh look! Oh mercy of mercies! They've got the numbering stickers on them already. Now they. Oh, is that printed? No, it is just a sticker. I thought it was printed for a second. I thought I could run my fingernail over it, but they are just stickers, and they are only on the cap. But that is good enough because the cap and the body, top of the body, do match, so you should be able to match up the tops. Right, let's have a look at those. Okay, these have got an ink filling system. They remind me of another type of pen. What is the other pen they remind me of? I know what it is, and I'm going to get one to compare, but we'll do that after. First of all, we must give them their due reverence. So I wonder what that tip's made of. Right, you know what I need to do? I need to swatch them, obviously, so I need to shake them, and I need to swatch them. Then we'll compare them to the other Arrtx markers that we have and see where they differentiate, and I'll then compare them to that other brand that I mentioned. Right, let me get shaking, then I'll get swatching. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay. So here's my swatch sheet, hot off the printer. Here are the pens. I haven't shook them yet because what I thought I would do is I would start the swatch sheet with you so you can see what kind of prep time they take and how they come out on the first swipe and all that kind of thing. I'm going to start with the white, which is like the most scariest one to start with. A clip, by the way, that's different, isn't it? But let's try. They look like they've got like a proper liquid ink feed system, like on a fountain pen almost. Oh, I should have had you zoom down for that. That came out initially really opaque. It is drying quite as opaque, but it did come out initially. Oh, it dries quick. Let's do a second layer. Oh, that nib's unusual as well. That nib's nice. The brush tip calling it a nib, like it is a fountain pen. Alright, so that was the white. The next one is this creamy one called T10. The sticker says clearly on it, shake then enjoy. I never know how much to shake these. I mean, is it just to get the ink all mixed up? I mean, it looks mixed up in the little ink windows. Look, it looks like banana milkshake in there. So this one I'm calling banana milkshake. It's like a creamy colour. And then this one, T105. Right, what I'm going to do is fast forward now, but if I get any that make me go, ooh, I'll stop. Play a little bit of music as we swatch through these, knowing that I'm doing this all the way through. Last two, my arm's aching from all the shaking. So this is another grey. And this one is black. Right, so let's have a look at all of these. So they dry really matte. There's no sheen to them at all. No sheen at all. They actually feel a little bit rough, which is interesting. Let's have a look at the palette that we've got. So there's a few yellows, a couple of oranges, including a really vivid one. Sort of a couple of reds, a lighter and a darker red. 4 pinks, 2 purples. So 2 bluey greens, but there's another one there as well. I feel like that one should have sat between the blue and the greens, maybe here. So 2 blues, a light and a dark. 4 or 5 greens. So maybe these 2 here should have sat between the blues and the greens. And then sort of a couple of yellowy ochre browny ones. So that's 4 there, and then 4 grey and a black. It's kind of like 4 yellow, 4 orange, 4 pink. No, not quite, but not a bad array. 4 grey seems a little bit, quite a lot. I think there's like 2, looks like 2 warm greys, 2 cool greys. Alright, so you know what, while I was using the brush, one of the things that I thought was the brush feels better. These feel a little bit more premium than the others, and I was thinking, oh, I don't think I'd want to use these on stones, because I do use my other ones on stones. Now these do say on them, can be used on multiple surfaces and DIY products. So let's have a look. I really should have put them back, shouldn't I? Let's have a compare with the other Arrtx markers, brush markers I have. So I have these type. Let's try and find a similar colour. They do have different numbers. Let's try my old faithful blue. Let's do it alongside this T406. Yeah, that feels a... I'm trying to feel if the ink feels thicker in these. It feels like... Just 406. I don't know if I'm just making that up. 406. Okay, let's have a look. Are the brush tips the same? I mean, a bit more sticking out. It feels like the mechanism in the new ones is fancier. Dare I try to pull this out? Doesn't come out. Dare I try to pull this one out? doesn't come out. So this has obviously got some kind of mechanism in it as well, rather than just, you know, a I can't touch my camera. Rather than just a sort of sponge tip pushed into a, you know, mechanism. I mean, one of the good things is there's definitely an ink window there. You can definitely see the ink sploshing around, so you will start to get, you know, as it goes through the different flowers, you will see the ink going down, which you can't on these ones. These ones are a ooh, got ink. I've got paint over everything now. These ones are a solid colour bodies. Right, let me go and wash that blue ink or blue paint off, and then we'll have a proper look at the two together. So that's it, paint's all off. They are non-toxic and water-based, so I did just suck my fingers and lick it off. I didn't really, I washed it. You can see it's sort of still a bit, some of it's still under my nails. I didn't do great. Okay, so they're the other ones that we've seen before, and these are the new ones, which have this totally different body. Let's get that. Is that a very good click going on there? Yeah, there is a firm click, but there is a little bit of a wiggle room there. Is that just me not doing it right? That one clicks nicely. Why is this one not clicking in? Did I actually pull it out a little bit, do you think? Oh, is it just this one that's like that? There is a firm click there. Let's push that down. Wait! Oh my word! It isn't that! Look! The body unscrews! Ah! Oh. The body unscrews, so you can actually see how much is in there. Look, this comes off. I thought that was going to come off and it was just going to be full of ink, and I was going to be holding that going, oh my word, you know how messy I am. I thought I was going to get it all over the table. Look, that comes off and we can see how much is in there. You can really hear that ball as well. So, yes, now a lady asked me recently in one of my videos which pens were the best to be able to see how much ink you had or paint you had left. And well, I was trying to think which ones I knew that did this. And paint pen wise, I know of some ink pens that do, but I didn't know of any. So yes, you can see the ink through those windows, and that's why that was a bit loose. So there is a lovely distinct click on those. All right, so we've just had a look at the tip. I mean, the pens are totally different, aren't they? And we have just had a look at the tip. Let's have a feel of the tips. It's very difficult to explain what they feel like, but I'll give it a go. Right, original. It's quite soft. I mean, it is very soft. If you try to do sort of calligraphy with it, you can feel it not feeling great. It's very squishy. Okay, let's try the new one. To be honest, it feels about the same. So if I do a teardrop, a squish teardrop, yeah, it does actually feel about the same. Right, so then the only other thing is, would I use these on stones? I feel like I wouldn't, but let's do them in a colouring book. We must do them in a colouring book. I think I've played with pens in these ones before, haven't I? Have I? Okay, let's just do a blob here. Number 1 is yellow. Let's do blue if we can find blue. Number 6 is blue, and let's choose this lovely blue here. See how they cover the lines up, what they go like. Oh, okay, so there's a number 6. I mean, if you're a fan of covering up the lines. Okay, let's get a similar colour in don't know how similar. You see, you don't shake these ones. That's the other thing, isn't it? The original ones you don't shake. You do shake these ones. That's probably better, isn't it? Let's do a similar one in these. You see, you can. Good. I mean, the brush sort of feels the same. Yeah, it does feel like the these markers have a slightly thicker paint. But that could have just been the colour I used. You know what I should do? I should do a very similar colour. Let's do the yellow. And let's get them similarly yellowed. Right, so these two yellows. So you can see the older Arrtx on the right, and this is the new one. So let's try them. What number is yellow? Number 1 is yellow. It's a nice big swathe here. So I might actually do both. Get that shake and enjoy. Okay, just go over the black line. And then underneath do this original one that doesn't need shaking. I must admit these are a bit, does feel more, whoops, really made a mess there. Really went yeah, both of them look about the same opaqueness. I think the enhancement is just with the feed mechanism and the fact that there's a ball in there to keep them, you know, to keep the paint moving, that there is an ink window so you can see the level of paint going down, because the actual colour of paint or ink looks the same. Lovely. Oh, you know what else I've got to compare it to? I've got these, haven't I? Do you remember these? The double-sided ones. I bought these ones with my own money. And I'm not sure if it's going to be the same colour. I haven't opened these for a while actually, so I wonder how they're going to... You know, that's a lighter colour. See, there's a darker one in the other set that I've got. This set. How many acrylic markers are there? Oh, this was the first set. I love this set. There's 2 yellows in here. This looks like the darker one. Ooh, try not to cause an avalanche. And that's a bit dark, a bit darker. Okay, so it's probably nearer that one. So let's try it with the darker one in the colouring book. Let's just have a look at the tips actually, because obviously these double-sided pens have a fine tip that end and a brush tip, smaller brush tip this end. These are more, feel like they're more competing with Tombos than with anything else. So yeah, that is a much smaller tip on the double-sided one. Lid on. Every time I reach for that, it feels like a Sharpie lid. Smaller tip on these. Oops, I'm not showing you. Smaller tip on these, so it feels like easier to colour with. Yeah, the ink in these ones feels thinner, not quite so painty. Oh, this is so difficult because I'm trying to feel what the difference is, and I think the ink inside is probably the same. It is just the distribution and body that's different. You know, they both say they're non-toxic. They both say they can be used on everything. They both say they're water-based. Let's see the enhancements here. We have numbers that we don't have to stick on ourselves. Yay! we have a body that we can see through, we have a really nice tight clip, and we've got a ball in there that you can shake up to make sure that the paint stays consistent. I've not had one of these dry up on me, but maybe other people have. I have just found out that one of these features is you don't have to keep these upright. These pens you have to keep upright. You have to keep them cap down, so they get delivered to your cap down, and you have to keep them this way so that the ink doesn't all settle and dry out the bottom. These can be kept any way you like, upside down, this way, this way, this way, because obviously you've got the ball inside to mix them up. That's also a feature, along with the gorgeous new looking body and the ability to see the ink. Just going to do one more thing, actually two more things. I always say one more thing and then go and dive into two. I'm now surrounded by Arrtx markers. Just want to see how they work on my little wooden heart. Okay, yeah, they feel very similar. I just do think that it's the new body, the new delivery system that's the enhancement. Because remember I said at the beginning, what do these look like? Let me show you what they look like. So this is the new Arrtx marker, and remember I said that this reminded me of something. This is what it reminds me of. Now this is the Carin Brush Marker Pro. This is not the new ones which are called Deco something or other. Like they've got like pigment ink in them. But if you look at the inside, if you look at the tip and the feed mechanism, I mean these fins here that you can see in here, this is the same as a fountain pen. This is like the ink distribution of a fountain pen system. It's how the ink gets up the channel and into the brush. It is a much more fancy and elaborate ink delivery system, and on one, I mean it could be the case that that same thing is in these, we just can't see it, and so they've decided to change the body so we can see the delivery system, and we can also see the amount of ink that's in them. So like if you take that off, I mean that's good that you can see how well mixed they are, can't you? Like when you take that off. Now that's the same with the Carin markers. You can see inside the body of the Carin markers, you can see the ink sloshing around in there, and it looks the same. I mean I've never tried to unscrew one of these, but I think that's glued on. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So I think the composition of the ink, the manufacture of the ink is about the same, but I think the upgrade is on the bodies. Thank you very much once again to Arrtx for sending to me. It's always fantastic to play with new pens and to compare them, and especially to show them to you, the people of the internet, because I know that, you know, if you want to spend your money somewhere, you want to see what you're getting. I'm just putting them back in the box here, and I will say you have to have the little clip of the pen sticking up, otherwise you can't get them all in because they won't fit. So while I'm just doing this, I was going to say, if you enjoyed this video, you might be interested in watching this one here.